Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be my April wrap up. I did not have a very good reading month, but the things that I did read were amazing. Well, two of the things that I read. But yeah, so for the month of April, I only read 3 books. That's it, 3 books. I ain't even sorry. Reading is not a competition for me. It is about enjoying, but also enjoying life with my family and my friends. But anyways, let me show you what I read for the month of April. So the first book that I read for the month, and this is actually like in the order that I read it, not for any reason, but whatever, is Not That I Can Tell by Jessica Strawser. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the worst book that I read. It was entertaining. It did its job. It's supposed to be a like mystery, whodunit, what happened kind of book. It follows these friends and neighbors that hang out together one night and, you know, have a good old girls' time, and the next day one of them goes missing. So it just follows that storyline, what happened to her, who did it, yada yada yada. The plot, the twist wasn't anything spectacular. It didn't, even the climax of the story, which I guess was meant to be like the horror part about it, wasn't even that great. It wasn't even that, you know, but it entertained me for the most part. I liked reading the backstory on all the friends and what they've been through, but not that fantastic. But again, not the worst book. And I love the cover. I love the purple and like the burnt edges. I already said that in my book haul, but it's a good looking book. I'll say that much. The next book that I read for the month of April was actually a buddy read that I did with, that a group of us did with Elliot from, I think her name, I forgot what her name is, but I will link it down below. But she did this buddy read with Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and I gave this 5 stars. I mean, I loved it. It was fantastic, and I don't like, I'm gonna say I don't like listening to audiobooks. I've tried a couple of audiobooks, and I just can't get with the whole audiobook thing. But I listened to the audiobook for this one. Oh my gosh, I felt like I was listening and watching a movie in my head. It was fantastic. I fell in love with the characters. I am pretty sure that all of you know what this is about. This girl and her brother and another 2 friends, or 1 friend, I'm gonna say, all go in search for magic that her people once held, but then it was taken away. So they're just after that magic and trying to get magic back. It is action-packed from like beginning to end. One thing that I will talk about, and I don't know if this is like a spoiler or not, I know this is not like a book review, but a lot of people are saying that the love interest in the book, just, it seemed too quick. It didn't seem gripping enough, I guess. A lot of people did not like the love interest. I loved it, and I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, everybody says that it's so quick. I'm going to tell you a little story about my husband and I. My husband and I met in the month of January. 2 days later, we were officially together, and we got married 6 months later. I don't believe in that it's too rushed story. And the reason why I don't believe it is because I lived it, and we're going on 9 years being married. I love that quick love story. And if you come to see it in reality, it wasn't that quickly. It wasn't that quick of a love story. I saw it coming. I'm pretty sure anybody else did. but I didn't see it as too quick, even if I didn't believe in quick relationships, if that makes sense. But anyways, I loved everything about this book. I heard somewhere that it is going to be turned into a movie. Yes, please. And I hope they do it justice, but I loved it. I feel like I will listen to this audiobook over and over and over and over again because the narrator, I forgot her name, is amazing. She's fantastic. And if you haven't read this yet, please do so. The last and final book that I read for last month was The Cruel Prince, which was also a buddy read with Elliot from Elliot Brooks. I will leave her channel below, but I enjoyed this one so much. Of course, just like any other Holly Black book, it has to do with fairies and just the dark side of fairies, and it's about these sisters who are human, and something happens to their parents. They witness their parents getting murdered, and they're taken into Fae world, and you know, just their story of how they're adapting. It's a very political book, which I never thought I would like, but I loved this one. I loved just the scenery of it, how dark it was, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. 5 stars also. And so I decided that since I had only read 3 books and it was going to be a really short video, I would share with you my May TBR. I don't usually like to do TBRs because, like majority of the people, or I think it's majority of the people, I'm a mood reader. I don't like to set TBRs, but I have so many unread books in my bookshelf, on my bookshelves, that I need to get reading, and there's so many of them that I want to read. And looking at my TBR, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to add like 3 more books in there that I really want to get to, but my TBR is big as it is already, so I don't want to add anything else. I might switch them out, I might not even stick to it, but I'm gonna try my hardest to stick to this TBR. So let's get into it. First book that I want to get to this month is Carrie by Stephen King. I've been meaning to start reading Stephen King for a while now. I do want to read his books in order of publication, so I already have the first set of books to start reading. But yeah, the first one I want to read is obviously his first book, Carrie, and it's so little and so short that I know for sure I can probably I could probably read this in one sitting. Next book I want to get to is Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. This is not usually what I go for. This is not my typical kind of book. I guess this is what they call contemporary. I don't even know. But Murphy from Murphy Napier, I think her YouTube name is. She loves this book and she's always raving about this book, so I wanted to give it a chance. And when she talked about the plot, I think it's about this girl who is writing letters to her mom and leaving them at the graveyard, and then some kid picks them up and is reading them and it right backs to her or something like that. But it sounded pretty interesting, and you know, there's just times where you want something lighthearted to read, especially for me, which I like to read a lot of horror and dark kind of books. Sometimes you just want to soften it up a little bit. So excited for this one. Next one that I want to get to is Illuminate, because I am way behind on this train. I am like, the train has come around like 10 times and I have not gotten on. So I really want to get to this. I know that the format of this book is like very different and easy to get through. So needless to say, very excited for this one too. Next one that I want to get into is one that I have hauled before here at the beginning of my channel. I have a hair at the beginning of my channel, and that is Afternoon of the Elves by Janet Taylor Lyle. And it's just, I guess it's a children's book, but it's very tiny and small, so I know I can get to it fairly easily and quickly. But I tend to keep looking at this one on my shelves and I'm like, it's just so cute that I want to read it. So yeah. Next book still has the price on it, but it's Every Heart a Doorway. This is another one that so many people have raved about and I just have not read yet. Again, because I tend to like more horror books and just dark mattered books. Does that make sense? That I usually don't go for these, but I really want to read this. Do you guys take off your half price book stickers or your just stickers, your price stickers? I took it off. But yeah, this cover is so beautiful and whimsical. So yeah, and this is by Shauna McGuire, which y'all know who wrote this book already. Another book that I want to read is called Down the Road, and it's this book right here. I know nothing about this book other than it is about zombies. It's a zombie horror story, but I saw this at Half Price Books, and I loved the colors of it because it's like colorful, and then you see the zombies back here. But it's a short book also, so I'm intrigued. This was a cover buy, and who am I kidding? It was a zombie buy because I love zombies, but hopefully it does not disappoint me. But I have no idea what it's about. From his small apartment in Austin, Texas, George Zaragoza watches in awe as surreal reports of a bizarre plague flood the national news. Until today, his life as a local theater teacher was stable and ordinary, if overshadowed by the unsolved murder of his beautiful fiancée. Now, hearing how those who died from an unstoppable virus are coming back to life in growing numbers, George knows what he has to do: leave everything behind in the city and get home to San Uvalde, just down the road. So I guess it follows this one guy, you know, once everything hits, and it's in Austin, Texas, which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours from me. So stay over there, zombies. Next book I want to get to, I am so excited about. I will haul this now in my next video when my haul comes up, which is probably 100 books deep. That haul is going to be, but it is Goblin by Josh Malerman. Josh Malerman has written my favorite book in the whole wide world, which is Bird Box. I will not stop talking about it ever in my life. I am looking forward to October 31st because I will be rereading it in the 1-year anniversary of when I read it last. But this is another one of his books. It's called Goblin, and I think it is a bunch of short stories that make up one story. I could be completely wrong, don't quote me on that. But this, you would have to order it through like a special website, and they are numbered. I mean, look at the inside, it's so beautiful. But these books are numbered. I want to show you guys something. Look at these end pages. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. But they are numbered and they are signed by Josh Malerman. So I'm so excited. Malerman. But I'm so excited to read this book. I think this is the one that I'm most excited about out of all of the books in my TBR. And I think it's the one I'm going to start with. I hope it doesn't disappoint. This is like a very heavy book. But it's just so pretty, and it has like a little ribbon thing on it as well. It was expensive as shit. I don't like to cuss, but this book was so expensive. It's probably the most that I've ever paid for a book and will ever pay for a book. But I'm hoping it's well worth it. And even if I don't like it, I love him, so doesn't matter. And the last book that I want to read this month, unless something else creeps up in front of it, is The Nevergrim by Matthew Jobin. When Magic Sleeps, Darkness Awakens. And this is what it looks like, and it is a blue book. So blue. I just gotta read all the blue books in the world. Maybe in 1 month I will just go and make it like a blue book month where I just read blue books. Is that stupid? I don't think so. I don't know what this is about. I know that I got this off of Book Outlet like months ago, and this is another one of those books that I just see on my shelf, and I just, since it's blue, I guess, I don't know. And it looks like it used to be part of like a library maybe, because it has like a sticky there. But it's just one of those books that sit down on my shelves like this, and it just keeps catching my attention. So I'm finally gonna read it, but I don't know what it's about. It has deckled edges. How cute. It says, an ancient, unimaginable darkness has awoken, and it is hungry. Only Edmund, Catherine, and Tom stand in its way. At stake, it's not just their lives, but the lives of everyone they love. Let the battle begin. And I think this is a middle grade book. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for my TBR. Hopefully I can stick to it. Let's see. I guess we'll have to wait and see until next month, until my next month's wrap up, to see if I stayed on task with my TBR. All right guys, so that is it. That is all for my wrap up and my May TBR. Let me know in the comment sections down below what books you read for the month of April, and also what you're planning on reading in the month of March. And if you don't do TBRs, let me know what your favorite book of all time is, because if I haven't read it, I want to read it. So yeah, let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.